about not visiting yet, for good reason. It's called the Craft Raccoon in Columbus, Ohio, and it's a crafting reuse store. From what I've seen, they got yarn, they got sewing kits, I saw they had some like big spinning wheels a while ago, crazy. Saw they just got in a huge collection of vintage fabrics, which I'm interested in. It's all donated, it's run on donations, and it's also right next door to a yarn dyeing studio called Dye Mad Yarns, and that also seems really cool. I'm not a huge knitter or crocheter right now, but I know y'all are. These are gonna be some good yarns, I just know it. So let's go explore the Craft Raccoon together, see what we can find. I don't really need anything besides maybe some vintage fabrics. I'm feeling a little squirrely though, or should I say raccoony, so we could get into some trouble. Let's go. This is my favorite lead holder. It's so chunky. I actually learned about this from Andy J. Pizza back when I was in college. He had it, so I got it, and he was correct. It's great. A lot of times these secondhand craft stores can lean a lot towards fiber arts, but there's literally something for every craft here. You want a stained glass kit? You got a stained glass kit. Whoa. And I think a lot of people get confused because there's also a beautiful yarn shop right next door, and they are connected, but they are not the same. Let's go check it out. My mind is already abuzz with ideas. on how we can use that vintage fabric I got. But first, let's have a little snack and take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Ritual. I cannot believe it took me so long to start taking a multivitamin. I'm 33. I make crafts out of trash for a living. You think I would have my life together by now. I recently started taking Ritual's Essential for Women 18 plus, and I'm actually building the habit of taking it every day. And if you know me, that's saying something. It's minty, it's cute, comes in these little capsules that look like a tiny anime futuristic science experiment, and I love that. Other than just being cute, what I really love about Ritual is that they actually tell you where all of the ingredients come from and why it's there. It's called Made Traceable, and we love a traceable, transparent supply chain. The capsules are actually patented so that you can have oily and dry ingredients in the same pill, so you can take your folate at the same time as your vitamin D. It's easy. I've been taking 2 capsules a day, doesn't give me any tummy trubs, and it's subscription based, so I literally never have to remember to reorder them, which is great and works well with the special disarray that I have going on in my brain. So if you want to try Ritual, there's a link for 25% off down below for your first order. Use it, treat yourself. You deserve a good multivitamin as much as you deserve any other sweet goodness in the world. And thank you, Ritual, for sponsoring this portion of the video. Let's get back to crafting. Just started raining. Perhaps a bit of thunder will roll through. I think it's the perfect time to show you what I got at the Craft Raccoon. How cool was that spot? I mentioned this while I was there, but there was something for every maker. Drawing supplies, painting supplies, building supplies, sewing supplies, even crafts that I had never seen before. And then the fact that there's a locally dyed yarn shop right next door. I held myself back from getting any yarn because, quite honestly, I feel like I don't deserve it right now. But once I work through some of the yarn that I have, increase my skills a little bit, I'm going to use it as a treat. A little something to look forward to. So sweet, so helpful. If you're ever rolling through Columbus, or maybe you're local to Central Ohio, you gotta check it out. You just gotta. And it's really close to Flower Child, which is a really big vintage store. And there's good coffee kind of everywhere around there, so you can't really go wrong. So let me show you what I got. And yes, we are going to make something with what we found. I have an idea. It's been percolating, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. We'll start with the vintage fabric because I know that's probably what you're most excited about. As you saw, there's a whole cubby filled with this one collection of vintage fabric. And it was so beautiful, but due to its very rare and beautiful and pristine condition, it was a little expensive, so I couldn't go too crazy, but I went a little crazy. I got 6 yards of this super sweet, not quite seersucker, but it has like lines of seersucker-esque texture going through it. There's also a very faint grid of white florals, and then to go with it, a very, very similar green fabric. It almost has a flocked texture because all of the white yarn is kind of fuzzy, so it's got great texture to it. And I think these two together, we gotta make something. My initial idea was to make a pair of huge pants, but with one side being this and one side being this. Almost clown-like, but not really clown. Okay, pretty clown. So that was my first idea. We'll see. I also got this really beautiful, almost like English rose garden stripe. Ooh, I really love that blue. And I love how thick the stripes are. A stripe can either be too thin or too thick, and this is kind of just right for what I like. Wouldn't making a little stuffed animal out of this be so cute? This is 3 yards. And then my favorite fabric. I found 4 yards of this adorable patchwork kitty and puppy clock fabric on this marigold yellow background. Oof. One thing I love is when black is used as an accent color for otherwise very like happy bright patterns. Like there are some little black tulips in here. Some of the dots in the circle of the flowers are black. It just feels a little edgy. I know this is like the least edgy fabric ever, but it gives it a little differentiation. And then as I was checking out, Rachel, the owner, was like, I'm pretty sure we have more of that fabric, but in a different colorway. And I was like, that's my head spinning in circles. And we got 4 more yards, but in red. So then I was like, well, imagine these ketchup and mustard dual tone huge pants I could make. So that's also an idea. I'm really stuck on pants right now. Now here's the thing. I don't really feel like making pants right now because I know I want them to be really special, and I want to make maybe like a toile first to make sure I get the fit right before I cut into this beautiful stuff. I mean, if I cut into it, it's not the end of the world. I can always patchwork it back together. It's something I would do. Anyways, I thought let's not tackle that right now. Let's save that for the near future. And today, the project we're going to work on involves some iron-on metallic letter appliques. These are iron-on studs. They were $2, and I have a very specific graphic t-shirt I want to make with this. But before I get to that, let me show you these vintage iron-on transfers for graphic tees. Can you even believe I'm a freak for an old graphic t-shirt? And to see that I have, oh, more than I could ever need or want. What does that say? Oh, Thunderbirds. I thought it said skibbity toilet. These are a prized possession. I'm going to be very picky about using these when I do. And I feel like I'd have to actually use like an actual heat press to apply these. They're pretty like brittle and thin. $5. That's crazy. These are Butterick black transfer stamps, if you say so. I'm so excited. Okay, imagine those like covering a jumpsuit. Okay, now stop imagining it. It's too powerful. Finally, I got some of this, I don't know if it's waxed or weatherproof fabric, but it's a little shiny, as black as the accent, which I like. And I was thinking maybe using this to create a bag, like a shoulder bag, or even a bag for my bike, like a waterproof one. Gus has expressed some interest in learning how to sew to make a bike bag, so maybe he'll make one for me too, using this. Okay, on to the little good stuff. I got a gadget that I have no idea if it works or not, but I'm very curious. This is a strip it, which you use to cut strips out of fabric, ribbon, lace, vinyl, and paper. The example on the back is one of these strip rugs, which I'm sitting on right now. And this would be great for cutting like bias tape really easily, if it works. Cutting strips out of paper really easily, if it works, which would have been really helpful when I was making my mosaic swan, because cutting all of those 1 centimeter squares was really annoying. Oh, there's blades. There are blades. This was $6. I'm going to stab myself. Easy, girl. Does this go on the side of a table? Oh my gosh, it's like a mandolin slicer. Wild. Pieces are just coming out, and soon the blades will be coming out, and I need to be ready for that. Oh, I told you. Oh. So what does one do in this situation? I'm scared. I forgot about this. I got a bunch of spools of wool thread. It is so soft, hairy even, and I thought this would be so nice to embroider with and then maybe brush out to get like a very fuzzy effect. I think we might use this for the embroidery project. I mean, the graphic tee project that I want to do. Aren't these colors good? Yeah. I got a couple like key ring clasps to use on necklaces with charms or with an actual keychain. It's always good to have these around. Bloop. And last but not least, so I think this is technically a clay tool, but I would use it as a bone folder. So that helps you just fold paper really crisply. I don't have one, or I think I do, but I don't know where it is. So let's cut some stuff. Let's try paper first. Yeah, I got paper. Whoa, crazy. Confidence. Ooh, I'm gonna need to practice with that one. But cool. Always love to add a new blade to my repertoire. I had to change my shirt because this shirt was making me want to peel off my skin in a smooth single motion. What I want to do today is use some of this fabric, just a little bit, and the iron-on studs to create a new graphic tee, and it's in celebration of something. I know I've been talking about this in like every single video, but I am almost done with the Stormlight Archive series. Well, the first 5 books. The only 5 books so far. I have, I think, 23 minutes left of Wind and Truth, and we're gonna finish that while I'm working on this shirt. And to celebrate, I want to make a t-shirt that celebrates reading. Specifically, we're gonna use our silver studs, and we're gonna spell out bookworm across the top, and then using the fabric, we're gonna make a little worm patch and sew it on. It's gonna be cute. I can already see it. But first things first, I need a t-shirt, and y'all know I have a closet full of thrifted blank clothing canvases. Ooh, I've gotta have a t-shirt in here somewhere. And if I don't, I know where we can find one. Sneak peek at next week's video. By the way, we are going to be transforming this beautiful white princessy dress into a fully painted piece of art. We're gonna be painting the whole thing. I'm so excited. A little daunted. That's good for the soul. We're gonna be doing other stuff too, but that's the main thrust of it, you know? Shirt, creamy thrifted blank. I like that. I kind of want a fun color though. We might have to go to the thrift store. I'm making excuses to leave the house, but it sounds kind of fun. Thrift store on a Saturday? Is that a situation I want to willingly put myself in? I don't know. Ooh, what about a black shirt? I didn't even know I had these. Interesting. Okay, that's cute. I actually love this. This is a Comfort Colors tee. I think this is probably what we're gonna go for. Probably. Yeah, okay. Let's try them on. I don't know if this is the one, actually. Yeah, this is unfortunately better. Dang it! It's okay. I don't have to be emo all the time. It's okay. So since I'm wearing it, I'm gonna go ahead and mark the area that the graphic should sit in. I find that I like to keep my graphics kind of a little bit higher. Don't love when they interact fully with the topography of my body, when they could just lay nice and flat up here. That's just a personal visual preference. Okay. These tiny black safety pins coming in clutch. Once again, a favorite sewing tool. Yup. You guys got any spring summer plans you're excited about? I don't have anything specific, although it'd be fun to go to the beach. The thing I'm most excited about is I just got my pool pass for the year. I've never had like a full pass. I would always just get day passes. So I'm gonna be a little water puppy every single day if I have anything to say about it, which I do. I don't know if you're like this. Does anyone else think about swimming and being in bodies of water literally every day, multiple times a day? Or is that just a me thing? I love to float. Pinned. Before we do anything else, let's do a sketch. Pardon? To nail down our vision. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking either we do like a spiral worm guy that says bookworm above it. I don't know if I would want to do like circle patches of fabric or just kind of continuous classic worm vibes. He's gonna have glasses. Yeah. Or do we just do more of a classic like wavy worm shape? I think spiral. Yeah, but I do like the antennas, and I really want this. I know a caterpillar is not a worm, but I kind of want it to give Very Hungry Caterpillar vibes in shape and color and texture. Let's expand. Plan to do most of the circle cutting for the worm body kind of freehand and just adjusting as I go, but I did really want to nail the face in the first few circles since they're a little more squished. So I'm just using some leftover washi paper from last week as tracing paper, and I've got my little shapes cut out so that we can start picking out and cutting some fabric. Fun! Part of me is like we should do a different fabric for every single little circle, but also I do like to have a bit of cohesion with color palette, and I don't want the patterns to be so busy that they're distracting from the overall image. So for example, I think this would really work because it's a little more subtle, less contrast in this fabric. The green would be good too, but also how cute would a whole worm made of like the most 70s colors and patterns you've ever seen? Wouldn't that be sweet? Ooh, I don't know what to do. I like these three together because it's kind of like off-kilter primary. Let's see what else we got. Come down here. Ooh, this cute. I love the possibilities of all things. This is nice and pretty subtle. I've got this buttery one, which I feel like I use for every project because I like it. Or we could do all terry cloth. I have so many towels that I've gotten for this exact occasion. Look at this one. Oh, too many options. Too many options. To really sell the worm of it all, I do think that the face has to be this green fabric. Ooh, a lot of particles came off with that. Probably should not breathe that. I love this project because you barely need any fabric. Just a little circle or two, that's it. I'm gonna use my handy dandy chalk roller. It's got a little spiky wheel at the top that when you roll through a pattern on top of your fabric, it cuts through the paper and deposits chalk so that you know where to cut. And it makes a great noise. Oh yeah. I really am being quite precious about the shape of this head. I feel like the face, if you don't nail the face, you're kind of screwed in most art. If it has a face, you gotta be careful. That didn't work. Let's do it again. Still didn't really work. That's okay. It's okay. Here's my little hack for making it a lot easier to like work on an applique patch without worrying about things flying all around while you're trying to actually sew them down. Get a piece of backing fabric, put all your patched pieces on that, glue it to it, cut that all out, and then sew that all down as one piece. I think I first learned this from Brittany at Risk Thrift, who is probably who you should be learning how to applique patch from, not moi, but I'm glad you're here, regardless. Ooh, nothing like a fresh glue stick. Don't you ever just want to, you know, or do this? Okay, me too. Not gonna lie, I got real close to putting this on like lipstick just now. I know I'd regret it, but like probably only just a little bit. Could it be that bone folder is already coming in handy? Could it even be that, do you think? Okay, our little friend is all secured down. Now we'll trim this out. And we'll sew the freaking thing to the freaking shirt. I know that's like, we're building up to that, and we're gonna get there soon. Okay, we've kind of done the hard part. We did our sketch, we cut out all of our little shapes and attached them to our backing fabric. It's so cute. All we gotta do is sew it down now. And I think I'm gonna save that for tomorrow because for now, I got invited to the art museum to see a new show and I thought maybe that's something that you would wanna see too. It looks really cool. Okay, let's go. Welcome to my old stomping grounds. Art school. If you didn't know, I went to Columbus College of Art and Design, and it's connected to the Columbus Museum of Art, which is where we are right now. I'm actually here for a press preview for 2 new exhibits. Kind of exactly my shit, so I'm so excited. Today requires big coffee. Psych, I'm not tired at all. Not even a little bit. I'm gonna still have big coffee though. Are you ready to finish this dang thing? To do so, I have a good luck charm, aka this vintage sweatshirt that has an applique patch that is very similar in technique to what I'm going for. I'm just gonna use a little zigzag stitch to stitch everything down. This looks like it was done like on an embroidery machine or maybe some sort of industrial thing because these lines are crazy. Thick, precise, just how I aim to be. Before we get too far, I do need to change out my sewing foot. Right now I just have the classic walking foot, and I'm gonna swap it to a free motion / quilting foot, basically so that I can move the fabric around however I need to, and I'm not obligated to go in a straight line. This can lead to messier lines. I'm gonna be as careful as I can, okay? But literally all of the lines on my little bookworm are curved, and if I kept this normal walking foot on, I would have to be pivoting the whole time which would be really annoying. And I'm not gonna be overconfident and act like I remember how to do this. I'm gonna look up a video. Hold please. Okay, that was easy. Guess it would make sense if I plugged in my sewing machine. Here's your, I don't know, quarterly reminder that if you have a sewing machine that you've just been too scared to use because you don't know how to use it, it's time to be brave. It's time to just mess around a little bit because that's the only way you learn. There's really no way to do it wrong. These things are built for tough. And if something goes wrong, that means you get to learn how to fix it. It's also pretty easy, especially when you can find 6 million tutorials on how to do every single little thing. And that looks pretty good. What do you think? Try not to stab yourself in the process, princess. Process, princess. That's me. Okay, so I just started at the bottom of the worm with the free motion foot, and it's looking pretty messy. To be honest, I think I just need to go way slower. Story of my life. Okay, here we go. We ain't sewing fast. That is for sure. Okay, that looks so much better. Don't get cocky, girl. I just learned something so cool. I feel like I had a brain blast. Okay, so you know how I was going for, I was going for this very thick, like satin stitch. It's a completely filled line of just up and down, up and down, up and down to create this thick solid line. So I know that you get that using a zigzag stitch and just shortening the distance between your zigs and your zags. However, I was going so slow, and I was also moving so slow, I was still getting like the peaks here. I'll show you. Like you can still see that there's some jaggedness. It's not the most beautiful stitch ever. On the pink, it's a little more obvious. It still looks like an up and down. And I was like, what the heck? How do I get this, the satin, the complete fill stitch? And I figured it out. Look at that. Look at that. What I gathered is that I need to kind of go pedal to the metal with the needle speed, but the actual fabric speed should stay super slow. That might be obvious, but I thought I was doing everything right to get a fill stitch and it wasn't happening. And then I floored it, but went real slow. And now it's working. Yes. I have a feeling that my bobbin is about to betray me, like imminently. There does not seem to be very much thread left. That's okay, that's okay. Exciting. Like, look how slow I'm moving the fabric. It's almost imperceptible. Look at that. Beautiful. Satiny. I also learned recently that I don't have to snip my thread between every section. Kind of a game changer. I don't even know if I really need to backstitch since these lines are so like overlappy. But it's probably not a bad habit to be in. Oh my god. Okay. Somehow that did not break my needle. Putting my needle back in, I'm like, I don't want it to pop out again, so I'm gonna use a screwdriver to tighten it a little extra, but this screwdriver's too big. But guess what I do have? Remember her? I got this at the world's longest yard sale last summer, and she do be coming in clutch. She sure do. Okay, onward. I'm doing so much problem solving. I feel like I'm learning so much. While I've been doing these rounded shapes, I was like, man, I'm really not good at kind of precision round sewing. It looks a little messy. I should design a project where it focuses just on that so I can get better. And then I was like, girl, what do you think you're doing right now? You're here. This is the project. In my last video, a couple people commented like, wow, your posture while crafting is so good. Like, how do you sit up so straight? I see I've successfully tricked you. Something momentous is going to happen while I'm finishing sewing this shirt. I am going to finish. Wind and truth. 43 minutes left of 62 hours. So maybe I won't finish it because I don't know if this is going to take me 40 minutes. It could. Also, it might be more impactful if I finish it while I'm actually reading it so I have time to really soak it in. Hey, we'll see what happens. So here's where we're at. Main patch, sewed down. And I've got the start of the face going as well. However, you'll notice that around the eyes and around the nose and the antenna, there isn't the final stitching around it yet because I can't decide if I want to do that by hand with my new fuzzy wool thread or if I want to do the sewing machine. I think I want to do it by hand. Like some little blue glasses. Oh. Yeah, that's gonna be so freaking cute. I was gonna hand stitch this fuzzy wool thread onto the glasses and the antenna. And then I tried to, and it's like multiple layers of fabric, and it was really tough to punch through and was making big holes. So then I was like, wait, What if I just use a zigzag stitch to catch it and just use the sewing machine, and that's working so good. Wow, new technique unlocked. I don't know if this is technically the right way to do it, but this is how I do it. I've got my string and it's coming up through the front. I lay it in position where the needle will catch it between its zig and its zag. Lower my needle down, lower my presser foot, and go, oh, so slow. Like way slower than you think you'd need to go. Just kind of inch it around like the little inchworm it is. Ready for perhaps the most satisfying or disappointing part of this entire process? Peeling off these stickers and hoping that they work. So far so good. I think as long as I go slow, everything's gonna be fine. Oh, cute. Wow, I'm holding my breath. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. I hit it with the iron twice. I think that was a good call. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's put it on. Let's put it on. I had my mic out here with me, but I guess I don't, so you're gonna get the pure unadulterated experience of nature while we celebrate this shirt. There were so many times during the process of making this that I just had to stop and say, this is so cute. I couldn't help myself but to let it out. Cause look at him. We did get to use our wool thread that we got from Craft Raccoon and a bunch of the vintage fabric, and I have so much more, which is exciting. Going to the art museum, and most of all, designing and putting together one of the cutest graphic t-shirts I think I've ever seen. Speaking of, do you guys think that this would make a good like t-shirt drop? Do you think I should make some? So here's the thing, I don't think that it would make sense logistically to make an embroidered like scrap fabric version because this took a really long time, but maybe I could formulate a printed version that might be more feasible for wide distribution. And by wide distribution I mean I have to find some secondhand blanks to print it on. So the distribution won't be that wide. That's what I'm thinking. Let me know if you like this guy. I think the contrast between the super crafty vintage vibe of the illustration itself and the fabrics with the metal studs that feel very 2002, I think that's cool. Kind of elevates it a little bit. Then I've been wearing the shirt for 2 days straight to every social gathering that I attend because I'm obsessed. So if you see me in real life wearing it, you can attest. And I'm gonna finish the video to tie this all together by finishing my book, wearing my bookworm shirt. Before I do that, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed and you like crafting, sustainable style, and art, feel free to do so. I'd love to have you back here, and I post most weeks. I'll be back next week with that painting a dress video like we talked about. And you can follow me on Instagram at Kathleen Illustrated for behind the scenes stuff. Okay, I'm gonna finish my book. Thanks for hanging out with me, you little bookworms. Bye!